Yo, I'm burning up, hot flashes got me sweating like a sauna, body feeling different, odor creeping like a drama, clock hits 3, wide awake insomnia, got me stressed, mirror shows dry skin, used to glow, now it's a mess, achy joints, back stiff, tailbone hurts too, trying to stay fly, but the fupa making moves, 1 minute I'm chill, next I'm seeing red, these mood swings got me tripping, messing with my head, I go through all these symptoms, do you go through it too? Is it just me or you riding this wave too? We gaining that weight, feeling that anxiety, no libido, brains foggy, where's the clarity? It's feeling drained, fatigue, got me moving in slow-mo, getting pissed off at my man for nothing, yo. Confidence lost, self-esteem took a dive, but we queens, we rise, menopause won't take our vibe. Ladies, speak up, tell me, do you feel this too? We riding through the storm, but we'll make it through. Don't let this pause make us stop, yo.
What the Pause shares my personal experiences with menopause and is not medical advice. I am not a medical professional, and opinions shared are my own. Any products mentioned are based on personal use and not endorsements. There are no paid partnerships unless stated. Always consult a healthcare provider before making any health decisions. Hello, lovely listeners and guests. Welcome to What the Pause? Today we are featuring fitness during this transition. But before we dive in, I want to be real with you. As I mentioned in my last podcast, that there are going to be times where you're going to have a setback during this transition because you don't know how you're going to feel when you wake up each day. I'm being completely serious. You may wake up really refreshed. You may wake up very tired. You may wake up feeling depressed. And it's not unusual, ladies. Okay? Now, for me, I thought last week was a challenge. This week was probably one of the worst. As you are aware, I am 53 and in late stage perimenopause. And my cycles have been averaging every 50 days, and they've been expanding. But I was hit with my cycle unexpectedly after 28 days, and I truly thought I was not going to get through it. On Monday, I woke up with night sweats. I was shaking. I was depressed, emotional, irritable. My anxiety heightened, and I couldn't stop going to the bathroom, like number 2. Okay. Like it was Mother Nature trying to detoxify my body. Oh, I felt like she was. I felt like I was almost hungover. It was absolutely bizarre. Something I've never experienced in the past 4 years since I've been on HRT. I had 2 days of uncontrollable crying and just this fear of the world falling apart. So note to myself and perhaps note to you guys that perhaps we shouldn't be looking at the news so much. And I know I'm in Canada and I have some listeners from the US. I pray for you. I hope that, you are safe in your world over there, but know that your sisters up here in Canada are looking after you guys by providing information that might not be available to you because of the orange man that's in office. Nonetheless, so I stopped looking at the news, watching the news, and that made me feel a little bit better. But then, of course, scrolling on the phone is another issue. Apart from that, my daughter, who was 13, suffered a mild concussion, and she was playing a game with her friends and she fell on her back, hit her head. It was a mild concussion. She is fine and back at school, but trying to find the strength to watch her as I'm a single mom and their father was working. He has access to them 50% of the time too, but it was challenging for me. It's basically how when we had kids. So for those who have kids, mommy can't be sick because she can't take care of the child. I felt the same way this time around. I was so incapacitated, could not do anything. And trying to take care of her was daunting. I actually asked my older daughter to make sure that, she was fed and she was okay and taking her Tylenol and blah, blah, blah. But wow. So I'm recording this on Thursday. I'm feeling much better, but I wonder if I wasn't on HRT, and I wasn't on the anxiety and depression medication that I've been telling you all about, would that have caused me to go down a rabbit hole? Would I have gone deeper? And this is where I am so grateful that these symptoms only lasted 2 days and my cycle is slowing down. I'm hoping this is the last of it. But having said that, I do hope your week was better than mine. Okay, so let's go with today's topic of fitness during menopause. So as you may heard in the first episode of my podcast, I have experience of being a 30-year fitness instructor. So I used to teach from the age of 17 to 47. I've retired 6 years ago, and I still have my certifications from Canadian Fitness Professionals, from Les Mills. If you are in tune with the Body Combat, Body Pump series that they have there. And I also taught Zumba. I was a Zumba instructor since 2008. So that's a long time going too. And I also have 22 years of dance experience. So let me break this down for you, because people think that fitness just came into my life, which it did, but obviously I have a foundation too. So I started ballet at the age of 2 until I was 22. And during then, I was taking jazz lessons from 17 to 24. I was also dancing in a belly dancing troupe from 26 to 28. And when I was also in a flamenco troupe from the ages of 28 to 30. Now, I first walked into the gym at 16. I was working at a grocery store and my friend said, "Come with me to the gym." And she was in great shape, about 10 years older than me. So I said, okay, why not? I walked in and I was so blown away by the women there. It was the 80s. I saw dental floss thongs. I saw leg warmers. I saw shiny unitards, neon colors, name it, they were there. And I was like, wow, this is my gig. This is exactly what I want to do. I was hooked. So I started becoming a 5 days a week cardio girl, because as everything in the 80s, cardio was king. All right. We didn't want to build muscle. So God forbid for us to use weights at the time, because you will look more masculine. Nobody's going to want to date you, blah, blah, freaking blah. So I did follow that. No weights, because cardio was the only thing that was going to burn the fat, although I wasn't fat at all. And I know you guys can all relate looking back at pictures from 30 years ago saying, wow, I thought I was fat. I was a hottie. Yeah, exactly, ladies, because we were, and we are still. So in my 30-year fitness career, I taught freestyle aerobics, step aerobics, muscle conditioning classes, Zumba, and combat classes. Then at 45, I decided to enter my first fitness competition. So then weights became my life. Having done cardio for 25 years, I wasn't used to this transition going into weights. So I did hire a personal trainer, especially when I was getting married. We're going to go into that because I'm no longer married, but that's for a future episode. I promise you that. But perimenopause came onto me strong in 2020, big time. Okay. But at 45, it was 2017. I was turning 46 that year, but my competition was in March of 2017. And wow, I did not expect to be in perimenopause. I had no idea. No chance at all. Not even my personal trainer at the time could explain my emotional breakdowns and my mood swings at the gym. And then I would have such rage when I got home. I didn't know I was even in perimenopause until I started reading about it on my own, and it all made sense to me. I was stressing my body with daily grueling sessions and a very strict diet regimen. And you know, ladies, the word die is in the word diet. I hate that word. So yeah, sure, I lost weight and I got toned, but in my head and my system was a freaking mess. I was constantly doubting myself. I lost all confidence in me. And that was not me at all. Anyone who knows me, who's known me as an instructor, who knows me as a professor, knows I'm very confident. But I saw the women I competed with, and they were all much smaller and ripped than I was. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to try this. It was too late. But as soon as I got on the stage, my mind fucked around on me again, and I lost my chance of winning the top 3 by blowing it with nerves. I was 4th out of 8. I was upset. I'm usually very competitive, but in this arena, it is very all about the physical image. No one teaches you how to deal with that, especially going through a fitness competition. Nor do they teach you what happens to your body afterwards, because my body just went into full peri and the weight just came back uncontrollably. So that was 2017. I did my competition. I don't want to do one again, as I said before. But when April 2020 came and everybody was home, the pandemic made us work out from home, right? And I did what everybody else did, bought my own equipment, hoping to use it. I was a very disciplined person before the pandemic. But when my peri came on full, my body said, no. I lost all my motivation. I was inspired. Yeah, oh, she looks beautiful. That's great. While I'm having donuts on the couch. And then all of a sudden I was like, forget it. I'm not going to go on that spin bike. I'm staring at my spin bike. And I became sick even thinking about it. I got turned off. Same with weights, Zumba, just about everything I loved, I did not want to do. This mindset consumed me for years, ladies and gentlemen, until last month. Yeah, I finally said, fuck this. I need to reclaim my life and go to the gym because I know deep down it would make me feel better in time. But not only that, I knew that I had to change my workouts so I didn't stress my body. So what you guys did in your 20s, in your 30s, and even in your 40s no longer applies. So where are you in your fitness journey? Are you over 40 and still doing tons of cardio without any weights? Are you doing cardio more than 4 times a week? And if so, are you doing steady state or HIIT? Are you including any kind of resistance training? And finally, are you getting enough rest during this time? So let's talk about cardio. Stop doing it. Yeah, you heard me. Stop doing that steady state where you're just walking on a treadmill endlessly for half an hour, for an hour, looking at your watch, making sure you're getting your 10,000 steps in. No, stop it. Get off that piece of equipment that you're doing a steady state in and get into a HIIT, high intensity interval training. I'm not talking about burpees or plyometrics. I can't even do that anymore with my right knee that's gone to hell. But I'm talking about intervals on certain machines, arc trainers, elliptical machines. Now try and look for that lateral elliptical machine. That's the one that not only goes front and back, but also creates that side-to-side motion that will really work your thighs and your butt, your abductors, adductors, with shorter bouts of intensity. There's programs on these machines for a reason, folks. Use them. When you click on CrossFit or intervals on these machines and you set it accordingly to your right specs, your height, your weight, the time, you do not need to do more than 30 minutes of this, okay? But what you do need to do is have shorter bouts of intensity where you cannot talk. If you can talk or have a full conversation, you are not pushing yourself hard enough during those small bouts of intensity. And we're talking, 1 minute of intensity and then back down, or whatever the program that you have inputted into your machine spits out. Walking is not going to cut it anymore, nor do calories in, calories out. You need to use these weights, and your workout should be able to push heavy weights. Listen to me again. You should be able to push heavy weights. This is not, your mother's, I'm going to lift 5 pounds and these plastic dumbbells, and then I'm going to eat McDonald's afterwards, and everything is going to just balance itself out. We all been there, guys. And some people still think that's the key, but it's absolutely not. So push heavy. If you can still talk after 12 repetitions, increase your weight. Because if you don't challenge your body's not going to change. And ladies, you are never too old to start. If I can start and complete my master's degree at the age of 50, then you are able to start working out. And it's best for you to start only for 3 days. I work out 3 days a week now. I do a push session with my upper body. So arms, chest, triceps, anything you're going to be pushing away from the body or down. Then I will have a rest day. And I go back to the gym the following, and I do what's called a pull workout. So you're pulling weights towards you. You're pulling things behind you. Okay, all upper body. And then finally, I will take a day off of that and I will do legs. And legs, I go heavy, ladies, and I'm there for an hour. And then I actually take 2 days off of legs because, trust me, I need it after I put them through hell and back. So you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't know anything about working out. How do I create a program? There's this beautiful thing in technology called ChatGPT. Yes, we all know about it. This beautiful world of artificial intelligence. That is sarcasm, folks. But what I do is, in order for me to get a right workout plan from ChatGPT, you have to be specific with your prompts. So this is what I put in. 53-year-old perimenopausal woman with a right knee injury, create a 1 hour, 3-day workout. Weights only, dumbbells, and cable machines. Boom. I stick that in there and it brought me up a beautiful workout plan. And you know what's really funny about this? I did not mention to ChatGPT that I needed abs or core workouts, but guess what they did? It noticed that I was a 53-year-old perimenopausal woman. So in the database, that's where all these things are retrieved from, by the way, ChatGPT figured out, this woman's going to probably need core work too. Brilliant, isn't it? So I encourage you to do that, okay? No more excuses. Let's do this together. I want you to be accountable. I want you to send me your stories about how you are doing at the gym. Because if you don't want those chicken thighs, I was reading on Reddit and it makes me just laugh out loud in terms of the descriptions made, like the chicken skin on our upper thighs, or we have our chicken wings where our triceps used to be. Okay, that's all in fun, but we don't need to be that. We can go to the gym. We can nourish our bodies, and we're going to have a future session on nutrition. But I just want you to start moving and get out there. I can guarantee you, once you get to the gym, you're going to be like, I'm glad I dragged myself here. Okay, so take it slow, take it short, start with a half hour, and then increase from there. Okay? Because this is so important for us. We want to make sure we're preventing osteoporosis. We are building muscle. We can balance ourselves better. all right? And it can rev up our metabolism. Yes, weight training does that, folks, not just cardio, all right? So aim for that 2 to 3 days a week, total body, or you can do your push, pull, and legs, but you need that recovery time. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I used to work out for 40 years and now you're telling me to back it down. Well, if you're not seeing any more results with your old program, yeah, change it. Okay? You're not going to be a wuss if you don't go to the gym 5 days a week. Get that mindset changed. And we're going to talk about mindset next week. All right? So last time we talked about archetypes, hormonal archetypes, right? And there are specific reasons why you should be working out based on your archetype. So for those type 1 that are estrogen excess and type 2 cortisol cravers, this is where we don't get our energy level is not consistent throughout the day, right? But what it is that we want to work out at a time that works for us. So in the morning or in the afternoon, where these two types need that energy is probably best. Type 3, you're the liver lover. It's great for you to exercise because it increases the circulation, okay, of your body in your liver. When your body is moving, the liver is functioning properly. In your type 4, your mighty mitochondria, you're going to be fatigued. So please go slow. All right. This is not a race. Type 5 in your broken burner, you're going to be not only fatigued, but also frustrated. So let's work with that mental state, get into some stretching, use those weights to get you through it. And perhaps it'll help you with your frustration. Okay. So for type 6, the unicorn, you're just working out for prevention since you don't have any symptoms. And finally, the low type 7, you are working out because you may benefit from not increasing your chances of getting sarcopenia, osteoporosis, or any kind of fractures. And it elevates your mood and motivation. So do what works for you, but please get that resistance training in. I'm loving what I'm seeing in terms of myself, and I don't care. I go to the gym at the college where I teach at as a full-time professor there. Yes, lots of young men there, but the universal sign of wearing your AirPods or headphones says, do not come near me and don't talk to me. They can all stare, and you know what? Who cares? Let them stare. They're probably impressed that you're in the gym, right? So I would just look at them and just give them a little bit of a nod. So ladies and listeners, I hope I've left you with some more food for thought. Next week, we're diving into the pause and confidence, body image, and we're going to have another segment of pause talk, discussing the lack of confidence and body images we ladies feel during the pause. I want to hear from you, your stories related to your body image and your confidence during this time. Email me at whatthepause@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram, Linktree at whatthepause, Facebook, and my YouTube channel, What the Pause. I also have some extra videos on there of products I will be featuring in the future. But this is going to be a really fantastic discussion. I really can't wait. So to my lovely ladies and guests, thank you for listening. Be healthy, be safe, and embrace the pause.
Clarity is feeling drained, fatigue got me moving in slow-mo, getting pissed off at my man for nothing, yo. Confidence lost, self-esteem took a dive, but we queens, we rise. Menopause won't take our vibe, ladies speak up.